والحمد لله على سلامة.
معاكم نشوف أول المناظر.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
I'm going to share this moment with everybody.
Sure.
Wow, this is amazing. Wow.
We'll check for Papa with no changes.
Sultan, that was an impressive fix. You have surgeon's hands.
So after 60 seconds, we'll start initiating the call with Sultan Neyadi.
Are you ready for the event?
Houston station, we are ready for the event.
This is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is MBRC. How do you hear me?
BRC station, I got you loud and clear. Welcome, Saud.
Sultan, we are here today in our dear partnered country in the Republic of Mauritius with the attendance of the acting president, Mr. Idi Bouassouizon. And we are here with over 300 students as well. And we have some students joining us from Rodriguez Island and some people connected with us from Agaliga. So we are here and we are very excited.
Thank you, Saud. I'm really excited as well. It's a great opportunity to talk to you people in Mauritius. It's a great country, and hopefully I'll get to visit the country when I come back. And I'm really happy to talk to you today and answer all the questions that we have. And let's start with this. The flag made it to space. And hopefully when I come back, I'll give it to you in person. Thank you so much.
Hello, Dr. Sultan. I'm Idi Bouassouizon, Acting President of the Republic of Mauritius. It is an honor to speak to you live from Mauritius. This is a major step forward in our collaboration between Mauritius and NDRSC, further to develop our Motion Space Initiative. I'm curious to know more about your recent spacewalk experience.
Thank you so much, sir. And I think, as you mentioned, it's a great opportunity for collaboration. Space is a great frontier for explorations and spread your enthusiasm to explore and learn a lot about our planet. And to answer your question, actually, the EVA was really interesting feeling for me. It's the first time that happening in the Arab world. So I felt like a great responsibility. So we spent 7 hours outside of the station to do a lot of maintenance and preparation for installing new solar arrays for power capabilities. So it was really great honor to be presenting the country and the region in that EVA.
Now we'll transition to get our one question from Rodriguez Island, and then we'll come back to Port Louis to continue the questions from the students here.
Hello, my name is Enovan from Rodriguez. Could you enlighten us about how you get oxygen? Thank you.
Very good question. So, as you know, the International Space Station is a great laboratory that orbiting the Earth. And we don't have a regular supply for oxygen from Earth. So we have to produce it here on board the station. So what we do is to use water and divide the content of water, which is hydrogen and oxygen, and produce the oxygen that is necessary for our breathing on board the station.
Hello, sir. I'm Ramesh. I would like to know if your senses are affected when you return to Earth. Thank you.
Very good question. Of course. So on board the International Space Station, we don't have any sensation for directions because our vestibular system is disconnected, literally. So to you, you might see me inverted, but honestly, what I feel now that I'm looking just like a normal orientation for me. So it depends what you tell your brain and what you decide with your eyes, what are the directions. So when we come back, we need to adapt again to gravity because our vestibular systems start to work again. So it takes up to 2 weeks to be back to normal 100%.
Hi, I'm Priyanka. I would like to know what kind of food and drinks do you consume? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So we have a large variety of food. Most of our food is dehydrated. So we have a packet like this and we fill it with water and we eat. We have other types of food as well, which comes in pouches and they're ready to eat. We just warm it in the food warmer and we consume it normally. Our drinks come in these small bags. We fill it with water and we just drink it as we wish. So we have a variety of food on board the International Space Station.
Hello, I'm Tikshta. I would like to know, how do you sleep? Thank you.
Sleeping on board the International Space Station is really interesting. So I'm sleeping in this orientation. I have a sleep bag and I go inside that sleep bag and I just zip the sleep bag and just close my eyes. I don't have any sensation of the need of a pillow or a blanket or anything. So that is my orientation. Other crew members sleep on the ceiling. So their orientation could be something like this. So they sleep like this, and to them depends what they tell their minds how the orientation they're in. So again, we don't have any sensation for orientation here on board the International Space Station, and we sleep normally.
Hello, sir. I'm Kaveri. I would like to know, what is your daily routine on the ISS? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So we have almost 12 hours daily of work, exercise, and doing science. So we wake up at 6:30. We do the hygiene, and then we have our breakfast, and then at 7:30 we start with a morning brief for the daily activity, and then we continue work up to 7:30 in the evening, where we finish with another debrief of the activities of the day. And this goes for 5 days, 5 working days. And in the end of the weekend, obviously, we have a time to rest as a crew.
Hi, sir. I'm Demishta. I would like to know how is the ISS protected from space debris? Thank you.
Very good question. So the ISS orbiting Earth at an altitude of 400 kilometers. And during this motion, it is susceptible to some sort of debris or floating items. So luckily, we can monitor the larger items or larger objects, and we can maneuver and avoid these big piece of junks or debris. But unfortunately, some micro meteorite can hit the station, and that is difficult to avoid, but still we are protected with a very hard body of the station. Yet, in case of an emergency, we are ready to react to any emergency regarding a depress of the environment inside that station.
Hi, I'm Mihal. I would like to know, how do you keep the notion of time in space? Thank you.
Excellent question. So do you know that we have 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every day? It was really hard for me to comprehend this environment. So when we arrived, I kept seeing sunrise and sunset every 45 minutes. So it was really difficult for me. But what we use is actually GMT time, and that is our reference for daily activities. When we wake up, we do activities, and we go to bed based on GMT time, Greenwich Mean Time.
Hello, I'm Itisha, and my question for you, sir, is how do you keep yourself upright during a spacewalk? Thank you.
So during the EVA, it was basically a similar sensation to what we have here inside the station. So any orientation that you tell yourself, you'll be in that orientation. But just like what we have in the station, we have some marking for handrails, for racks, and for indications on the wall. So we have deck, for example, here. We have forward, because this is the forward direction of the station. We have aft, and we have overhead. Same thing outside of the station. We have handrails that can tell us whether we are going port or starboard or zenith or nadir. So it is sometimes hard to navigate, but with the help of the ground and looking at these mile markers, we can accomplish the job with no problems.
Hello, I'm Shannon. My question to you is, what inspired you to become an astronaut? Thank you.
Shannon, I think the biggest motivator for me is the sense, or loving the sense of exploration. And I wanted to be a pilot when I was young. And obviously, when I was a little kid, I was watching a lot of space-themed cartoons. So that was the ignition of that dream. And when I grew up, I just kept reading, kept indulging myself with all sorts of information about space. So that dream continued with me until I got the opportunity to be selected as an astronaut.
Hello, I am Hassan, and I would like to know main challenges that you faced in space. Thank you.
So again, we are trained to react to any sort of emergency. On board the International Space Station, we are living in a closed environment. You see all the wires here, but we are capable of reacting to a fire, for example. And coming back to space debris, if this hits the station, it can cause a leak in the closed volume of the space station. So we are also trained to react to that emergency as well. So we spend a lot of time training with these emergencies as a crew to have the accurate response for an emergency.
Hi, I'm Zafira. I would like to know what do you do in case of emergency? Thank you.
So much. As I said, we are trained to, we train actually for years to react and respond to any sort of emergency. So the main types of emergencies on board the station is fire, depressurization, and a leak of a toxic spill. So all of these can cause a problem for the crew, but we have the right equipments and we have the right response to deal with all sorts of emergencies that I mentioned.
Hello, I'm Chetna. I would like to know what was the most beautiful scenery from space? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. So probably the first sensation when I arrived here, as I mentioned, is the feel of time. Without a reference, it is difficult to understand whether it's morning or day, because you have 24 hours, which is what we used to on Earth, but we have 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets. So that was the mental challenge that I had when I got on board the International Space Station. But again, we synced our time to GMT time, and I think it went normally after that.
Hello, sir. I'm Kavish. I would like to know how do you keep yourself mentally and physically fit on ISS? Thank you.
So let's start with physical preparation. So every day we train for about 2.5 hours. It is a must, it's not optional. So we do that every day. So we need to keep the muscles density and the bone density in a good shape before we return. And mentally, actually, we work as a team on board the station. So we have a sensation of living within a family. The sense of camaraderie is really something that we rely on to keep in a good mental health. Plus, we keep connecting with Earth, just like I'm doing with you guys today. We talk to our friends and families through emails and normal calls or video calls as well.
Hello, sir. I'm Zahir. How will the science experiments on ISS benefit society? Thank you.
Thanks so much. So here on board the station, we do a lot of science. We do a lot of experiment that can help humanity on Earth. So for the last 2 months, I've been working on a lot of experiments, and I recall working on heart tissues. So scientists on the ground, they use us as astronauts, and we are their eyes, their ears, and hands to perform these experiments. So I saw some heart tissues beating in space, and it was incredible. So these tissues are receiving medication on board the station, and this can help us develop some medication for heart diseases on Earth. We have some other experiments that I worked on is the biofabrication. We actually can print bio tissues that can help us in the future 3D print organs and donate them to people in need.
Hi, my name is Gregory. I would like to know how close to reality is a simulated training program for astronauts. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So we have a large building in Houston. It has a mock-up of the International Space Station. So we spend days and weeks to train ourselves on these mock-ups, to perform daily routines and conduct some sort of science. And for the EVA training, for example, we have a large pool. It's called the NBL, the Natural Neutral Buoyancy Lab. We go there, we spend 7 hours, just exactly what we did last EVA. So we train how to translate and how to perform maintenance the EVA operations. So we have a very realistic mock-ups and training facilities on the ground.
Hi, I'm Maiva, and my question is, how does a launch in a rocket feel like? Thank you.
Launch was really quick, actually. Believe it or not, we were in space in less than 9 minutes from launch to final insertion. So it felt really quick, a lot of vibration, and then everything went quiet, and that was the indication of us reaching space. It was incredible, actually.
Sultan, the people of Mauritius would like to see the flag one more time and an ending message maybe from your side. Thank you.
Thank you again for this opportunity. This is the flag of Mauritius, making it all the way to space. I was really happy talking to you today, and hopefully we'll have more opportunities to talk in the future.
Station, this is Houston ACR, and that concludes our event.
Yes, yes, yes.
And this concludes our live call. Thank you.
Thank you for the support today.
Great job, Sultan.
Thank you, Mr. Saud Karmastaji, for the